Hello. So we're gonna Zentangle. So the things that you need are a black Sharpie, that's fine tip. You need a pencil, and you need white cardstock or white paper. If you use something that's not cardstock, make sure that the Sharpie does not go through the paper onto whatever you're writing on. So you may want to put something underneath your paper. Alright, so we're going to start with making a box. You always start with making a box to make your Zentangles. So just put points on your paper and then connect them. So mine isn't like a perfect box, it's kind of roundish. So the first thing that we're going to start off with is daisy beads. So it's D-A-I-S-Y beads, B-A-D-S. So this is what it's going to look like. Daisy beads. It's fairly simple. So we're just going to draw lines across the square that you made. So I'm going to draw probably 3. Yeah, I'll do 4. 4 lines. Okay. So after you get your 4 lines, you're going to make like an X pattern, or if you have done flutter before, it's almost like a flutter. So you're going to, I draw an X like that, and then I'm going to go around my X a little bit darker. Make them almost like petals. I'll show you. Just round them. Go around. See? Go around them so that it makes like a big black X. So my daisy looks like that. And you're going to keep doing that across the line. So I try to space them out a little bit so that they don't run into each other at all. And that there's plenty of room. I like this one. It reminds me of summer. That's kind of why I picked it. Like little flowers on in a row. It's cute. Sometimes I'm good at making them, and sometimes I don't know if I like them. Because each X is different. See how the X's are different? It looks cute. I'm going to make one more X on that line. Alright, so that is my first row of daisy beads. So the second row, I'm gonna kind of offset them from the first row. So the second row will start in the middle of where the first row is. And then I'm just gonna go around them. Remember, you cannot make a mistake, so if you have to re-round them, do whatever you gotta do. There's obviously room in between each line, so you have room to adjust. If you don't need that initial X and you can just make the rounded X, do it. I just need that jumping off point where I know where my circles are going to go and that they look sort of in line. Okay, so that's my second row. I'm going to make my third row. So that's my third row. I could probably put one more on that row. We'll do that. Fill it in, right? Hope you guys are having a good summer. Enjoying getting outside. Just a good activity to do when you have nothing else to do. So I'm going to make my fourth row. And then one more. Like I said, if I'm going too fast or you're just not sure, pause it, rewind it, do whatever you gotta do. That's what it looks like. Those are Deeds beads. Alright, so the second box that we're gonna make, so take your pencil, make another box right next to the box you just made. Try to make them similar sizes so that it helps you get like similar patterns. I think that's how I want to say it. Alright, so now we're going to do flying geese. This one's a little bit easier than the last one. It looks like flying geese, sort of. Just triangles. So we're going to make patterns like a checkerboard or a floor. So we're going to make lines. I'm trying to think if I want to make them, I think I want to make them straight first. They usually do it diagonal, but I think in order to show you what it needs to look like, it's got to be fairly straight. So I'm going to do 3 lines like that, and then I'm going to go across. So I'm going to just do 3 lines across. So that's what my lines are going to look like. So I'm going to take my marker and I'm going to make triangles. So I'm going to start at the middle and go down to the corner and go down to the corner, just like that. I'm going to do that in each box that I have. If your box is not a full box, like that one in the corner, obviously it would start at this corner and just go up a little bit, and that's where it's going to stop. You don't have to fill that one in if you don't want to, but that's kind of how I'm going to do it. So mine looks like it's going off the paper, and that's what you want it to do. Okay, so take this one. All right, so on each one, we're going to put those triangles. So I'm going to do it in every box. Try to find the middle of your box and draw down to the corners. So my last boxes are gonna look a little different because they're not full boxes. So that's what mine ended up looking like because my last boxes are too small. So obviously it would just be the tips of the geese. And then you're gonna take each triangle and color it in. So I'm gonna take my first triangle that I drew. Oh, excuse me. Got the hiccups, that's great. I'm going to color it in so it looks like a goose, flying. And then I'm going to do the second one. Oops. I can get my marker to cooperate with me. The fine tip does take a little while to color with, so if you don't want to color them in or you're aggravated with how long it's taking to color it in, don't color them all in. You know what you have to do, so you can always go back later, use a fatter marker, something. Just take your time when you have the time or the patience. I'm sorry if this is shaking my camera. I'm not trying to do that. So I'm going to show you what this one has ended up looking like. Almost done. So this is what my first row looks like. And then I'm going to continue that. And like I said, if I don't finish this, it's fine, because I know I have to color them in. So I can go back to that later. I can mark it. If you like it so that there's a variation, you can always color the outside of the geese and leave the inside of the geese white. It's up to you. I do like the black geese though. I do think it looks kind of cool. So I've dotted my geese that I'm going to color in later, and I'm going to move on to the last one so that this video isn't super long. The last thing I'm going to show you is Starry Night. You're going to make another box. That's my other box. Oh, so I didn't write flying geese on that. So flying geese. And the last one is Starry Night. Starry Night. Okay. So these are the 3 patterns we're doing. So Starry Night, I'm going to show you what it looks like in my book. Hopefully we'll be opening soon and you guys can start borrowing books again and you can see the different shapes. So it looks fairly simple. just stars. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna take your pen, you're gonna draw an X. There's my X. And then I'm gonna draw a cross through the X. That's my star. And then I'm just gonna space them out as I like, so my sky looks like a starry sky. You do it any way you want. You make them as big as you want, as small as you want. I'll show you what I mean. Because if you look at the night sky, there's a whole bunch of stars up there. Some are bigger, some are smaller. So you definitely want to make that pattern. The bigger, the smaller. The medium. So I do that many. And that is my starry sky, my starry night. Pretty easy, right? So the last thing that we're going to do is take the 3 patterns that I taught you and put them in one box, so one pattern. So I'm going to draw a big box at the bottom of my paper, probably double or triple size the ones that we were originally using. So that is what my big box looks like. So now you want to split your box into 3 because you have 3 different patterns. So I want to make 3 different shapes in here. So I'm going to make, I think I'm going to do like that. So that's how I made it. I just made mine simple lines. So in the first one, we're going to put the daisy beads. So pick which box, which, if you have triangles, if you have circles, whatever design you put in it, pick one and put daisy beads in. So I need to make the lines for my beads. I think I'm going to do like this. So I did my lines a little crooked, and then I'm going to put my X's on my line. And remember, the ones below it, you want a little bit off. So if you start at the edge, leave room so that the one below it can go in between. I'll show you what I mean. I'm going to do the first 2 rows. So the first 2 rows, that's what it looks like. And then I'm going to do it again. So this is what my daisy beads ended up looking like in my pattern. The second thing we're going to do is do the flying geese. I'm going to use my bigger box to do my flying geese. So I'm going to put one line down, and then I'm going to put 3 lines across so I can make my flying geese. So start in the middle, go down to the corners, start in the middle, go down to the corners. So I have 2 sets of geese on each of my lines. And I'm going to do a variation so they stand out a little bit. You can do whatever you want. If you want to add color, add color. So I'm going to start at the top and I'm going to make my geese black. If the camera is shaking, I'm sorry. Seems like this table is a little bit more wiggly than I thought. That's alright. Alright, so there's my first 2 geese. And then I'm going to do my next geese. Come on. Alright, so that's my second geese. So my third geese, I'm just going to do a variation. So rather than making the whole thing black, I'm just going to put like a V shape in the geese. See it? That's all I'm doing. If you don't like it, you can always just color it all in so that that V shape goes away. You can make waves, you can do whatever you want. And that's just to show you that you can change what you do with your patterns, always. You make them what you want to make them. It's how you want to do it. So that's what my geese ended up coming up looking like. And then the last pattern we're going to put in is Starry Night. So I'm just going to put a bunch of stars in that last section that I have available. So some of them are going to be bigger and some of them are going to be smaller. Some of them are going to be medium. And that is my Starry Night. So those are the 3 designs and all together. So hopefully you guys enjoyed that. If you have any questions or you have any ideas, you know, don't hesitate to call the library. Children's Room. I am Christine, Miss Christine. Or you can email, or your parents can email. It's cradzik@drakettlibrary.org. Sorry. And I will continue doing these all summer. So I hope you guys enjoy.